Okay, hey everybody, it's Samantha again. If you hear noise in the background, I'm just listening to some music on my boombox. This is the wrap up for October. I'm doing this on the 30th because tomorrow Halloween. And I'm gonna be going trick or treating with my niece and my nephew, my sisters. I gotta be honest, I didn't read a lot this month. I mean, I read a lot. Some people may think. A big chunk of them are kid books. But I basically just, most of them are, actually all the kid books are my niece's. I've read 3 books that are mine. I'm not in a reading slump, it's just that, I don't know, I haven't had much time to read, and I know many people think, well, how can, especially my sister saying, how can you not have any time to read? Well, a lot of things. I know I'm mumbling, sorry. I'm still on, by the way, I'm still on this. Blood Highway, Sheila Johnson, I'm still on that. I'm on like chapter 7. I don't know what's taking me forever to read this. It's good and all. And this is a lot more detailed than a lot of my others. Creepy. I'm just trying to get all my books out of the bag that I read. I read 3 of my own, and then I'm just trying to get all my nieces out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, altogether I read like 15 books this month, but 12 of them are kids books. So yay. I read, and before you even know, it's House of Evil by John Dean. I already did a video on this previously. It mentions everything about it. House of Evil, the Indiana torture slang. I read that. Then I read Merry Christmas. Give me a minute. By Elian Sena. Oop. Sorry, just one of my books hit the laptop. This one, before I said it was like, yeah, it's just a bunch of quotes, Bible passages, little songs and things like that about Christmas. Which is weird, reading something like that in October. And then I read The Dollhouse Murders by Betty Ryn Wright. Everybody, I already did a video on this one too. These I haven't, so I'm going to have to talk a little bit about this. So this video might be a little long. I'll just grab one. Fly Away Home. This is my niece's books by Eve Bunting, illustrated by Ronald who? Oh, thank you. Himmler. The only home Andrew and his dad have is the airport. It's better than the streets, Dad says. It's warm, it's safe, and the price is right. What Dad says is true, but still, Andrew hopes... I was making sure of something. Andrew hopes that one day life will be the way it used to be. Then he and his dad can have a place of their own again. This new picture book by Eve Bunting and Ronald Himmler is written and illustrated with the same spare honesty that distinguished their earlier collaboration, The Wall. It takes a topical problem and transforms it into a work of art. It's just about a dad and son and dad living in an airport. Then I read Matthew's Meadow by Corinne Dimas Bliss, pictures by Ted Lewin. Far up on the hill, far beyond Matthew's house, was a meadow of long, soft grass where a red-tailed hawk perched on a black walnut tree. Matthew's grandmother had cleared the brambles and planted the grass. She had wanted a place in the forest where a person could see the sky. Matthew loved the meadow, but he didn't know why. Why was a secret even from Matthew. But the secret was this. Every year at blackberry time, Matthew went to the meadow and had a long talk with the hawk. And the hawk taught him how to listen to the milkweed seeds sailing through the air and the sounds of snowflake falling. The hawk taught him how to feel the moonlight as it touched him, and the blood as it choked through his veins. The hawk taught him to watch a mountain eroding and to smell the coming of night. All these things and more Matthew learned, but he did not remember it was the hawk who taught him. The haunting magic and the wisdom of this story. Oh man, I lost my place. Sorry. Is the magic and wisdom of our own natural world. Corina Dimas Bliss has, with a poet's touch and a storyteller's sure hand, given us an important ecological fable for our times. Award-winning wildlife illustrator Ted Lewin has added his own power to the book, with stunning pictures that are at once magical and true. A lot of the pictures in these books are actually pretty good. You know, if you like the illustrations. My Little Golden Book About God by Jane Werner Watson, illustrated by Eloise Wilkin. I'm just wondering if this is going to tell me like what this one's about. Okay, not really. It just really what it's meaning. It's about God. I can't really remember, and it doesn't mention it. It just mentions what a little golden book, the company thing on the back, so it's not really about the book. A Child's Garden of Verses by Robert Louis Stevenson, selected and illustrated by Eloise Wilkin. That's just, if I'm not mistaken. I want to make sure I'm not getting any of these books mixed up. These are all poems. Look, little bitty poems. The Cactus Flower Bakery by Harry Allard, illustrated by Ned Delaney. A lot of these I read just because my niece wanted me to read them to her, and you know, some of them I just picked out from her so I could borrow. This one I read this month just because I knew it was coming close to Halloween. The Halloween Witch by Marjorie Thayer. Pictures by Marjorie Bergeson. This is almost out like a play. This book. It's like these kids want to go to this house, but they think it's haunted, and it's not. And it's pretty much just like Tommy, Susan, Tommy. I mean, it's like what they're saying and stuff. Straight out, just like a play. This is a Disney book. The Grasshopper and the Ants, retold by Margaret Wise Brown, illustrated by Larry Moore. And almost everybody knows what this one's about. It's just about a grasshopper getting stuck out in winter. These ants save him. He doesn't want to listen to the ants telling him, save up your food. You know, you might want to save up for your food and everything. He doesn't want to listen. He ends up freezing out in the snow, and the ants save him. Almost everybody knows what this book is. If nobody's never heard of it, it's like everybody I've known has heard of this. Hans Christian Andersen, The Princess and the Pea. This is actually one of my favorite kid books, gotta be honest. Actually, I can read what this one's about. There, standing in the doorway, was the most bedraggled young woman the king had ever seen. Rain ran down her hair and face, and her clothes were sopping wet and muddy. Water ran in through the toes of her shoes and out again through the heels. "Good evening, your majesty," she said to the king, curtsying politely. "I am a princess, and I need shelter for the night. May I please come in?" The fabulous tale of The Princess and the Pea has been retold from a traditional story written by Hans Christian Andersen. Retold by Ronnie Rundall, illustrated by Anna C. Leplar. No, I don't think I actually mentioned what the cactus, this one. I didn't actually mention what this one is about, did I? Really, it's just about a snake that, like a snake out in the desert. It's like a desert snake or something, if there is such a thing. And she's out wanting a friend because she's all alone in the desert and everything. And everybody's so afraid of her because she is a snake. Nobody knows she's like the sweetest snake ever. She doesn't hurt anybody. She actually loves baking. And she ends up becoming friends with like an armadillo-like character. And at first, the only reason they become friends, he broke his glasses. He doesn't even know she's a snake. He just thinks she's a really nice person. And I'm trying to not spoil too much, but try to tell you the story. I'm trying to remember some of it. Eventually, he does get glasses, and he sees that she's a snake. He actually runs off terrified. Eventually, he does come back, and he ends up realizing, "I'm sorry that I hurt you. I'm sorry that I ran away." Because she was actually ended up dying, because she was actually so saddened by that he got terrified of her and left, that she was actually just starving herself to death. And he came back and he was like apologizing to her, and the way it ended, almost like them two got married or something. Like he moved in with her, took care of her and everything. It's weird, an armadillo and a snake. Then I read My Sister Karen by Karen Hirsch, illustrations by Nancy I'm trying to say this right, Indureden. Again, if you actually hear music, I didn't even mention what it was. I'm listening, I think, to Selena Gomez, one of her albums. Yes, I am a fan of her. My sister isn't like the other kids. She doesn't know many words, even though she is older than I am. My mother says that my sister is retarded. The speaker, in a congenial first-person narrative, introduces his nameless sister, who is retarded. The tone is perky but gently matter-of-fact. Both positive and negative feelings color the recounting, which emphasizes the sister's individuality and capabilities. My sister will help children understand the mentally retarded and their siblings. I actually really like this book. The art was, really good. Considering it's almost like that pencil type art, but it's actually really, really good. And the story's actually really good too. And then I read Return to Oz, Escape from Witch's Castle. Actually, my niece wants the other ones to this, if I can actually find them. I wish I could actually find. At one point, I don't know what happened to it either. I had like a big thick book of all the Wizard of Oz stories. There's I think the Wizard of Oz, all of the stories mixed with some other ones, if I'm not mistaken. I just don't know what happened to it. This one basically is, I can't read it again. It's just about the company that makes this, This was basically about Dorothy coming back with her friends. What's his name again? It's just that dude. I can't remember. It's a robot dude. I don't know. I think his name's TikTok or something. I don't want to get names wrong here. Yeah, TikTok. And Blimp. Princess Mombi. Something about this Princess Mombi is after Dorothy because she wants her head. She's like a queen who doesn't love her own head, so she chops off other women's heads just to take them. and they're running around trying to find the Scarecrow. I'm just trying to remember that hen, Bellina or something like that. Them two are running around trying to find the Scarecrow, and they end up saving this Jack. They end up running upon this guy, Jack-o'-lantern dude there. That isn't the Scarecrow, which I actually thought so. I think they end up saving him. I'm trying to remember his last name. He had like a weird last name. Just Jack Pumpkinhead. That's what his name was. I'm trying to remember. I didn't know his full name. They're just trying to look for Scarecrow. Jack is trying to look for his mother. And then the story ends at like you need the other books to know what happened. Like they're just flying away on a couch thing they made. And then I don't even remember who wrote that. Did it even say who wrote it? Nope. Does not mention who wrote that. Then I read Old Friends, New Friends, by Joanna Ryder, illustrated by Jane Chambliss Riggy. It's basically just about these two friends. Two friends that actually end up having trouble. This one friend of them ends up getting this part in a play, and she actually becomes friends with this other girl in the play. They both have parts in the play. And her old friend feels like rejected and left out, and she ends up meeting this boy who she becomes friends with, and they end up getting new friends and then old friends. Like they end up coming back being friends and everything, realizing how much they miss each other. Then I read The Story of the First Christmas by Pauline Palmer Meek, illustrated by Shannon Sternwis. It's basically just about the story of Jesus' birth. The only reason that sticker right there is on there, very, 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 very long time ago, I bought this. This was actually my book when I was younger. Yes, I did actually keep a lot of my kid books. I ended up giving it to my niece, though. If I'm not mistaken, either Mom got this at Big Lots, or I think it was Big Lots, if I'm not mistaken. She got it for like sale there. I read more, but sad though. Big Lots closed down. I don't remember where it was, or directly in Pineville, but I know it was somewhere around Pineville. There was one there, closed down. There was one in Welch, closed down. A lot of the Big Lots is around West Virginia closing down, and it's sad because I love that store. I loved it where I could get that Sleepy Time tea in the bottle already made. The Santa Clauses, I read that. Retold by Achim Broger. Pictures by U.T. Cruz, something like that. This one's just basically, and I can read this to me good. When word gets around that there is no Santa Clauses, Charlie just can't believe it, and when the news reaches Santas themselves, they are so upset that they will vote to forget Christmas and go on strike. But Charlie takes matters into his own hands, and how he finds the Santas and restores their Christmas spirit brings the tale to a funny and satisfying conclusion. In this gentle Christmas story, young readers will find that to anyone who believes in them, Santa Clauses are real indeed. Well, that's basically what this one's about. Last one. The Cross With Us Rhinoceros by John Bush, illustrated by Paul Girotti. Most of the reasons why I picked these to read, I just picked the ones that even interested me. This one right here, I just grabbed it. I got tired of looking through her book. She's got like a big stack. I just said, fine, here, you pick one out for me. She ended up picking this one, so that's all I read this month. I am going to try my hardest to get back to reading like at least 4 or 5. 3 is pretty good. Gotta be honest. At least I didn't read just 1 or none. But still, I'm so used to reading 4 or 5 or even sometimes 6, which has been a while since I read that many. I don't know. I guess something's wrong. I don't think it's a... What is that called again? I don't remember what it's called now. My mind just went blank. I don't know why. Like, you don't read for a long period of time. No, I don't think that's what's wrong with me. I just don't know. So many things have happened these past few days and this month that it just kept me from reading. So, see you later. Bye.